Don't worry, Carissa. Your dad and I are on your side. What do you mean on her side? Come here, Carissa. No! I don't like you, Grandma! My name is Hannah. I'm 34 years old. Until a few months ago, I was living with my husband Griffin and daughter Carissa, but now we're staying at my mother-in-law's house. This is because Griffin got transferred to a location near her home. When he told her about the transfer, she said, "Well then, come stay with me. I have extra rooms and it'll be fun to live together. It's also a hassle to find a place to live." That's when my husband brought up the idea of living with her. I had only met her a few times because she lived far away and we didn't have many opportunities to meet. But I had a good impression of her from those few encounters. Unlike the scary mother-in-law image I often heard about, she seemed like a normal, kind mom. Besides, I didn't know anyone in the town where she lived, so I thought it would be reassuring to have someone familiar nearby. Thinking it could be a chance to get closer to her, I agreed to live together. Griffin, who had been worried about his mom living alone, was relieved by my acceptance. Our daughter Carissa was also looking forward to living with her grandma. Before Griffin's transfer, I was working, but I quit my job when I decided to move with him. We could have chosen for him to live alone, but we thought it would be better for our young daughter to be with both parents, so we made the decision together. It was honestly hard to leave my job of over 10 years, but I decided that being together as a family was more important. And so we ended up living with my mother-in-law, Doreen. Well, welcome, Carissa. You must all be tired. Dinner is ready. Let's eat together. On our first day after moving, Doreen greeted us with those words. My husband and I have been busy lately with moving preparations, quitting my job, and handling the transfer. I was touched by her having dinner prepared for us. Thank you, Doreen. I'm sorry for the trouble. It's fine. We're living together now, so let's help each other. Carissa, you too, okay? She welcomed us with a big smile on her face. We spent that evening happily enjoying the feast she prepared. The next day, she also took care of our daughter. You two can take your time unpacking your things while I look after Carissa. Thank you for everything. It's fine. Just leave Carissa to me. Please be nice to Grandma, okay, honey? I will. We finished unpacking our things in no time, thanks to Doreen watching our daughter. Doreen, thanks to you, we got everything unpacked. Thank you for taking care of Carissa. Don't worry about it. We're living together now, and besides, we got to know each other a lot today. Right, Carissa? Yeah, I love Grandma. It seemed that our daughter had a great time while we were organizing our things. Living with my mother-in-law might not be so bad after all. I'm glad we decided to live together. That's what I thought at the time. Carissa became attached to my mother-in-law, who was also happy about it. It's been so long since I played with the little one. I feel rejuvenated. I'm glad you decided to live with me. I'm happy to be living with you too, Doreen. My husband was worried about you. Oh, he's just exaggerating. I'm fine. Yeah, but we'll be careful not to burden you. Don't worry about it. Feel free to do as you please while you're here. Thank you. I felt reassured by her kindness. Although I had tried to see this as a chance to get closer to her, I couldn't help but feel anxious after hearing stories from my friends about difficult mother-in-law relationships. Somewhere in my heart, I wondered what I would do if she turned out to be a different person than I first thought. Hearing her words, though, I felt that my worries were unnecessary. Soon after, Griffin got used to his new workplace, and Carissa and I became familiar with the surroundings of our new home. Hannah, you were working before you came here, right? Aren't you going to work here too? Well, I've been thinking about it, but Carissa's daycare or kindergarten isn't settled yet, so I thought I'd wait until things calm down a bit. Oh, I heard you were doing great at your job. It's such a waste. Maybe you should start looking right away. You know what they say, strike while the iron is hot. I can take care of Carissa. But I can't just leave her with you like that. I raised a son, after all. Trust me with her. You can look for a daycare or kindergarten while working, right? When I discussed this with my husband, he readily agreed. But we couldn't let Doreen overexert herself. At my husband's suggestion, we decided to apply to a daycare we had searched before moving. We didn't know when a spot would open up, but we would ask Doreen to watch Carissa until then. We had no idea that this decision would lead to a difficult situation later. Soon after, I found a job and began working full-time. Carissa, honey, be good with Grandma, okay? Doreen, please take care of her. I'm off to work. Have a good day! Every day, my daughter and mother-in-law would see me off to work and greet me when I returned. Carissa always greeted me with a smile, which made all the fatigue from the day go away. Today, Grandma and I played house together. My daughter would share various stories about her day when I got home. Those moments were my daily respite. Though I was tired from working in an unfamiliar place, I felt motivated to do my best the next day. Gradually, I was able to work like I did before and began to enjoy my job as I got used to the workplace environment. That's when I noticed a change in my daughter. At first, she would always see me off and greet me, but recently she had been doing so less frequently. Sweetie, you haven't been yourself lately. What's wrong? I asked my daughter. She looked like she wanted to say something, but then ran away. I wondered if something had happened recently, so I decided to ask my mother-in-law. Doreen, has anything been off with Carissa lately? Not at all. She's been running around happily every day. Oh, okay. It's just that she hasn't been seeing me off or greeting me recently. Maybe it's just a coincidence? She's been sleeping in more in the mornings, and she's been eating dinner earlier, so maybe your schedules just don't match up. Is that so? She used to wake up early to see me off and even stay up late at night. I'm telling you, it's all in your head. Maybe you're just tired. You should get some rest. She raised her voice for a moment, then returned to her usual tone as she had just realized what she had done. She had never raised her voice before. Did I say something strange? Gradually, my daughter's attitude continued to change. She remained silent even when spoken to, and she was silent even when we ate together. She seemed like a different person compared to the lively and talkative girl she used to be. Griffin seemed to notice that something was off with our daughter too. I asked Doreen again. Hey, I still think there's something wrong with Carissa. Griffin thinks so too. Did something happen when we were at work? Nothing happened. She's always playing happily. But she hasn't been talking at all lately. Did something happen? I've told you nothing happened. She's probably just tired from talking too much during the day. But even on our days off, she won't talk to us, and she used to tell us all sorts of things when we got home. I've told you nothing's wrong. You're being persistent. Carissa has times when she doesn't want to talk, too. She responded with a somewhat panicked tone. Something seemed off. My husband, who had been listening to our conversation, seemed to feel the same way. We wondered if something had happened during the day when we were not around. So we decided to secretly install a hidden camera in the living room without telling her. I felt hesitant about installing a camera in her house without her permission. But I couldn't help but be concerned about my daughter's well-being. Griffin and I decided to install a hidden camera that would send footage to his smartphone. The next evening, we reviewed the footage taken during the day. What we saw was shocking. We quickly went home. Oh, you're both back. That's unusual. Doreen, what have you been doing with Carissa during the day? What do you mean? We've been having fun playing together. Fun? Are you sure about that? Carissa, sweetie, are you having fun playing with Grandma? My daughter just looked at us with sad eyes and didn't answer. Then why does she look like she's about to cry? She's not crying. She was just laughing so hard that she got teary-eyed. Right, Carissa? Doreen only spoke in a sweet voice when addressing my daughter. Can you still say that after seeing this? As I said that, my husband showed the screen of his smartphone to her. The footage showed her and Carissa. Doreen was tightly hugging my daughter. Grandma, it hurts! The hidden camera we had installed could also record audio. My mother-in-law was hugging my daughter so tightly that she was in pain. I'm not Grandma. I've told you many times to call me Mom. But my mom is at work. I am your real mom. You're not Grandma? No, I'm not Grandma. What about the mom who went to work? She isn't your mom. She's just someone who lives with us. But she used to be my mom. No, they've been lying to you, Carissa. I'm your real mom. In our old house, she was a kind mom. At that point, Doreen pulled my daughter away from her. I'm telling you, I'm your mom now, Carissa. I've told you many times not to call that woman your mom. My mother-in-law shouted at Carissa as if to drill it into her head. Then my husband stopped the video. Do you want to explain to us what this is all about? No. Do you want to explain to me what this is all about? You've been secretly filming me? This is my house! At that moment, my daughter, who was startled by the tense atmosphere among the three adults, started crying. Oh, sweet Carissa, I'm sorry we scared you. Come here. I gently embraced my daughter. We're sorry about the camera, but we were worried about our daughter. I told you she'd be fine if you let her with me. But she wasn't fine, was she? She used to be a lively and talkative kid, but recently she hasn't been talking to us at all. And now, this. What have you been teaching her? I've been teaching her that I am her mother. No matter how many times I tell her, she doesn't remember. Maybe there's something wrong with her. She's not normal. What's not normal is you, Doreen. You are her grandmother, do you understand? I told you not to call me Grandma. My daughter finally burst into tears at Doreen's aggression. Oh, I'm sorry. That was scary, wasn't it? It's okay. I tried to calm her by gently stroking her. I'm sorry about everything so far. Was Grandma scary? Carissa didn't say anything. There's no way I could be scary. We've been getting along so well. Come here, Carissa. You love me, don't you? When Doreen said that, my daughter flinched in my arms. Carissa, it's okay. Your dad and I are on your side. I gently stroked my daughter in my arms. What do you mean you're on her side? Come on, Carissa. Come to me. I hate you! My daughter suddenly spoke up. Doreen looked quite surprised. It was no wonder she was surprised, as her beloved granddaughter had just told her she hated her. What are you saying? You said you loved me. My flustered mother-in-law said. I only said that because I was scared. You got angry if I called you Grandma. You told me not to talk to my mom. As my daughter cried out, Doreen looked even more panicked. She says she was scared. What else did you do to her? I just told her not to call me Grandma. Is that enough to scare her like this? That's what I'm saying. There's something wrong with her. Mom, do you hate me? Huh? My daughter tearfully asked me. Grandpa said that you hate me. She told me not to talk to you. She said that? That's why I couldn't talk to you even though I wanted to. When I did, I got scolded later. So that's why she had been looking at us as if she wanted to say something before. I love you very much, sweetie. Grandma was lying. I gently hugged my daughter. Carissa, you shouldn't say things like that. She never listens to me. I wonder who she takes after. Enough! We're leaving! It was a mistake to move here. My husband and I already discussed this. That would be a problem. She's my reason for living. If we spend a little more time together, she'll get used to me. We've already decided. Please don't see our daughter again. As it seemed useless to say anything to Doreen, I took my daughter to the bedroom and packed our things for the time being. Then the three of us left her house. Having nowhere to go, we decided to stay at a business hotel for the night. The next day, I took time off from work and began searching for a new home with my daughter. Thankfully, we found a new place quite quickly. It was conveniently located near both our workplaces and a supermarket. There happened to be an opening at the daycare center we had applied to, so Carissa was able to enroll. It seemed like a miracle that a spot had opened up just at the right time. Though we were worried about leaving our daughter at the daycare after what had happened, spending time together as a family of 3 seemed to have helped her recover a bit. She seemed to be doing well at the daycare. Griffin has also been gradually bringing our belongings from my mother-in-law's house. According to him, she seemed quite depressed. Being rejected by her beloved granddaughter seemed to have taken a significant toll on her. When he went to her house to pack our things, she would always ask if Carissa was with him that day. We have not told her the location of our new home or the daycare center. We have no plans to let her see our daughter again. I have come to understand the scariness of a mother-in-law that my friend had mentioned. My mother-in-law, who depended on her granddaughter as her reason for living, had encouraged me to work, probably so she could monopolize our daughter. I never imagined that the seemingly kind mother-in-law would show such abnormal affection towards her granddaughter. Thinking about what could have happened if we hadn't noticed still sends shivers down my spine. Since being away from her granddaughter, Carissa has recently started chatting a lot at home again. She seems to be having so much fun at daycare. We want to make up for the scary experiences by creating many happy memories for her. From now on, the 3 of us can live peacefully as a family. Griffin and I want to keep watching our daughter, who happily tells us about her day at daycare, for as long as we can.